What's up, everyone? Chris from PickDogs.com here with your live morning show. We're live 7 days of the 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Always show up, rain or shine. We're going to be here, and Sunday is no different. Got another solid Major League Baseball card. The Mets Nationals need to be picked up again after being suspended on Saturday, and also got NHL action. Game 7 between the Sixers and the Celtics as well. So tons of action on the board. And just a reminder for everyone, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Smash that like button. It really helps us out. And, like I said, it's close to 130,000 subscribers. Couldn't have done it without your guys' love and support. But we're going to kick things off here. We're going to get right into it. We're going to start things off with Ron Romanelli, bat and lead off again, just like he did on Saturday, coming in strong. And go bring him in. Ron, how's it going?
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing as well as I can be after that Angels demolition derby last night, blowing the 6-2 lead for Ron's rundown best bet. It was a tough one, but it just basically sums up the month of May for me so far.
Yeah, trust me, I hear you. It's I had the Rays as one of my early plays yesterday, and up 6-0, and then all of a sudden everything kind of fell apart.
Yep,
cheaply made.
A lot of blowing leads yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of
things. Red Sox in the ninth inning.
A lot of blowing yesterday, but we're gonna get things going with this matchup, this NL East matchup that you got going for us. What do you got today? Sorry, NL West. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sick of the Padres. I mean, I've given them a chance a few times in this season series. The first time in San Diego, and now here, Dodger Stadium. This team stinks. I mean, especially against LA. I mean, I think the Dodgers have now won 11 straight series against San Diego. This matchup, Tony Gonsolin's not my favorite starter to back because he doesn't really earn a ton of strikeouts, doesn't really pitch too deep into ball games, but he pitched very well last year. He's off to a good start this season. His last start, got to give him credit. He was pretty sharp in that game, and although he gave up a home run, it was 3 unearned runs because his defense couldn't help him out there. But he went 6 innings, 6 strikeouts against Milwaukee. I thought he looked really strong on the mound, and I like the fact that he was able to miss some bats. San Diego's offense just has not done much of anything in this series, and really, we've seen them be inconsistent overall this year. Big names in the lineup: Machado, Bogarts, Soto. Tatis is now back, but still, they're not really doing much. They scored a total of 4 runs in the first 2 games of this series, and then against the Dodgers last week, they scored 5 runs in the final game, but 2 runs, and it's just not going to get it done against this team. And Ryan Weathers on the mound for San Diego. Somebody I do look to fade quite a bit. He's been featured out of the bullpen here and there, and as a starter here and there. He's got a 2.5 ERA right now, but I don't think it's going to last for much longer. He's got a 4.16 expected ERA, 4.65 xFIP. His strikeout numbers only 5.5 Ks per 9, not going to get it done. And I do think the Dodgers, a team at the beginning of the season had not that great of numbers against left-handed pitchers, but a very low BABIP, batting average for balls put into play. There was basically natural positive regression going to be on the horizon for LA, and now we're starting to see it. The Dodgers starting to hit lefties. The last 2 weeks, top 15 in baseball in team OPS against left-handers, and top 5 in baseball in isolated power. The strikeout rate's going down, the walk rate's going up, so they're really improving their numbers. We saw them get to Blake Snell in the first game of the series. I think they can get to Ryan Weathers in this game. And on the other side, like I mentioned, Tony Gonsolin, I think he could just, if he gives the Dodgers 4 or 5 strong innings, I think the bullpen for LA can take care of the rest. So the Dodgers right now have the better starter, the better lineup by far, and the better bullpen. So I got to take them on the run line here. They've won the first 2 games of the series by 2+. I'll take them again to win this one.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that. I look to fade Ryan Weathers myself. I mean, we're talking about going back to 2020, 2022, where he was 9.82 ERA. He had a small sample size before that, 5.32 ERA in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tony Gonsolin. I mean, I make the joke that he already matched his loss total from all of last season, but like you said, better starter here, better lineup from top to bottom. I don't think I can disagree with that. This is something I've wanted to ask you, and I think we never talked about it off the air, so I figure why not do it on the air? Is there any pitcher sort of metric? I know you talk about FIP, expected ERA, expected FIP. Anything you sort of weigh heavier than maybe a metric one over the other?
I would say the 2 metrics that I look really solely at is xFIP and Sierra. Those are the numbers where, I used to like FIP quite a bit, but xFIP does an even better job at taking the fielding independent pitching and just, telling me what a pitcher is supposed to do. Strike out batters, limit home runs, and limit walks. Anything else, it's, basically on the defense. So if a pitcher does have, say, a high ERA, but a very low xFIP, tells me that pitcher's getting pretty unlucky on the mound. and I'm looking for them to be sharper as the season continues. On the contrary, if a pitcher has a great ERA, which these are some of the pitchers I look to fade, guys that have a 2.6 ERA but a 5 point something FIP or XFIP, I'm looking to fade those guys in the next couple of games because they're just going to regress. They're not going to be able to continue that way. Even though, back in the day we saw pitchers like Greg Maddux pitch so well without really striking out guys and throwing, fastballs in the 80-mile-per-hour range. It's just not the way the game is now. You really need the velocity. You need to pick up those strikeouts. You can't give up the home run ball. So, XFIP is a really good statistic to tell you what pitcher is doing, taking care of what they can control.
Yeah, but I couldn't explain. There's very few things that Ron can explain that I can't, and that's tell you he's or sorry, other way around. There's very few things that he can't explain that I can, and he's like I said, advanced metrics is one thing I look to him for advice on. So there you guys go. Don't say I never gave you anything, but Ron, what do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
Yeah, looking to grab a Ron's rundown best bet winner after that sour game yesterday, but I'm liking our chances in this one. And I also got I have 2 plays in the MLB and 1 play in the NBA for that Game 7 matchup. Should be a great game. I've hit five straight NBA premium selections, so you can get that play individually or you can get it in a 3-pack with my other baseball bets. I'm really liking this Sunday card, so let's make it a big day.
Absolutely. We all know, everybody plays, no pun intended, to the back of their baseball card. Everybody, we all go through rough stretches, but once Ron turns it back on, it's something that you're definitely going to want to jump onto. I think it could start today. I mean, I think it's a great pickoff play. That's mine. Runs down. See, I'm flustered. It's 10:15 in the morning. It's still early for me. But Ron's run down the best bet. The NBA plays catching fire as well. And definitely something that you want to hop on long term. Take advantage of those best bets. Like I said, got some of the best minds of handicapping, and Ron's one of them. So, but Ron, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
All righty, Chris. Happy Mother's Day out there to all you mothers watching our Pick Dogs channel.
Sounds good. Thanks, Ron. Take it easy. Ron Romanelli, always appealing to the mothers. I'll tell you that much. He's a handsome lad. But anyways, we'll bring on Al McMorty, my next favorite chick magnet. Al, how's it going?
Oh, God, making me laugh this early on Sunday. It's going well. No complaints from me.
I try to make you laugh. It's one of my few redeeming qualities. But look at you got a baseball play as well for us today. Looking forward to hearing it. What do you got?
Yeah, well, I mean, before we get into baseball, I just want to, thought this was kind of humorous last night. The big XFL championship game was Saturday. I don't know how many people were paying attention, but I got an email in the middle of the afternoon, and a client wrote me, and he said, all the money is on DC. Doesn't make me feel confident in your game of the year pick now, because I released the Arlington Renegades at +6 12 days ago. And the line got steamed all the way up to 9.5 yesterday. So that's probably the most common thing I hear from clients over the years is they think that when money goes on one side, that's the automatic winner. And it's not. One of the things I've learned in 45 years of handicapping is that if you follow the money, you're not going to win. Doesn't mean you go against the money either, but you just if you're a follower, you're just not going to win. And it's especially bad in these minor football leagues, the USFL and the XFL. This year, for example, the XFL season just ended. And if you went, with the money and, based on the closing line at Circa Sportsbook, you would have gone 14-24 with 2 pushes. And it's doing just as poorly, in the USFL this season. It's 5-9 with 1 push. So, combined, in the 2 leagues this season, the money, the so-called, people who are sharp when they're moving the line, they've gone 19-33 with 3 pushes. For me, I just do my own thing, I'm typically releasing the games, like in football at the start of the week, or in basketball, in the wee hours in the morning. So I'm doing this regardless of what the public is betting on, what the sharps are betting on. I just march to the beat of my own drum. And, I think that's what you have to do as a handicapper. You have to have a sound methodology. You have to stay true to it, and you have to do your own thing. Once you begin listening to outside sources, you're done. So that's my spiel of the day. And I'll just let people just think about that.
No, I can't disagree with you. I think too much. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. There's just too much invested, I think, in money. I think it's sort of been the new trend or thing that people like to try to do is sound sharp and say, oh, well, follow the money. It's always right, blah, 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 blah. But like you said, the money's not always right. It's just there as another piece of information just to know where everything is going. It doesn't mean that it's always going to be right. The game still has to be played on the field or on the court, what have you. So, yeah. I 100% agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
But,
and you can't follow it. I mean, you have to be the originator of it.
Yeah.
And once the line is moved, it's anyway.
Yeah.
So that's just what I want to just pass on. So anyway, things are going well. No complaints on my end. On a 22-6 run. So let's talk about baseball, as you said at the start of it. I'm going to look at the Tampa Bay Rays and the New York Yankees. Yesterday, Tampa Bay just blew that 6-0 lead to the Yankees, so they lost that game 9-8. One of the better games of the year. But if you had your money on Tampa Bay, you weren't too happy. Today, they're going to turn to Zach Eflin. He's off to a great start this season. 7 years in Philadelphia, he was 36-45 with a 4.49 ERA. He's now 4-1 with a 2.91 ERA and a 1.03 WHIP. Coming into this game, and he has a career best 8.75 strikeout to walk ratio. He's also faced the Yankees twice in his career when he was with Philadelphia. Both games scoreless, never gave up a run over 11 innings pitched, had a 1.0 whip in those 2 games. And he's going to face off against Clark Schmidt of the Yankees. And Schmidt, it took Schmidt 13 career starts. In his last start Tuesday versus Oakland, he finally got into the win column with a winning decision. But he still has a 1-6 record in his 13 career starts with a 5.20 ERA. Tampa Bay has done terrific in the daytime, 88-54 plus 23.1 net games. In contrast, the New York Yankees in the daytime, they're 69-58, but on the money line, minus 18 net games in the daytime. I'm going to take Tampa Bay in this situation, take the Rays to bounce back off those 2 losses.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I was on the Rays yesterday, and when I saw you put in the Rays this morning, felt like it was twisting the knife a little bit. And just personally for me, I was just like, oh, I gotta remind myself, I gotta go back to the Rays again. But all right, I think it is a solid play here. I mean, Zach Eflin, just another example of how the Rays can take any pitcher and turn chicken into chicken salad and just actually make a decent pitcher out of it. Eflin now a viable mid-level option, I think, for any starting rotation. So. Yeah, I gotta say, I like the Rays here. If anyone's watched our morning show, you know what our sentiments are on Clark Schmidt. There's a word that rhymes with Schmidt that we think of a good old Clark. But yeah, I can't disagree with you on the Rays in this one. But what do you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
Well, we'll go back to the minor football leagues. I've got my USFL game of the week. I've hit 64% in the USFL and XFL the last couple of years since the leagues have started. It's I've talked about it before on these podcasts. I just think these minor football leagues are relatively easy, and I never want to say handicapping is easy because it's not, as far as, making money. It's a hard exercise to, do it consistently. But these minor football leagues, they're fairly easy to the extent that people overreact to small samples of data. I think that's one of the reasons why you see the money do so poorly. They're just overreacting to things. And so I've got my USFL game of the week. I also have a baseball play, an NFL totals play. I'm 12-1 my last 13 NBA with the 1 loss by a half point. And I've got hockey as well. So 4 plays over at Pick Dogs today. We're 22-6 or last 28 overall.
Yeah, you can't argue with any of those numbers. I mean, I'm one of the most consistent cappers I think I've ever seen anywhere. So definitely something you're going to want to hop on today. Grab one of the daily passes, and once you profit that, go on long term. I can assure everyone it's the way to go. It's the way you get the best value. And like I said, you're going to be pocketing a lot of cash. I already have a feeling. So Before I let you go, I just want to ask you. So I know you're talking about the football minor leagues. Do you have like a? Do you enjoy watching the minor leagues? I've never really asked you about this or talked to you about the XFL, the USFL. I know we just concluded the XFL season, so
Yeah, I mean, I don't really watch. I had my USFL game of the year last season, the championship game between Philadelphia and Birmingham. Philadelphia was like a 4-point dog. They lost by 3, so they covered as the underdog. And I watched that game, and I thought that was a really fun game to watch. I watched the game, a lot of the game last night as well. It was a blowout from the get-go. The team, they were 9.5-point underdog, and they got out to like a 20-0 lead or something crazy. I can't remember. So it wasn't a close game yesterday. It was just a blowout. I don't watch a lot of the games because I don't think it's very good football. So, but I did watch. I like watching the championship games, and it's always more fun when you're winning. If I was losing the bet, I can't say it would be fun. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's not good football.
Yeah, I think when I tuned in, it was like 35-20, and I was like, oh, okay, 4-16 in the championship game, winning 35-20. I was like, okay, doesn't get much.
It was just, yeah, it was a pretty easy handicap. It actually fell into some angles of mine. Some, what I like to do. I maybe it's a little bit unorthodox, but I use a lot of NFL Super Bowl angles, and I applied it to the championship game of the XFL. And I had one Super Bowl angle that was 14-0 over the past 33 years, and I had another one that was 19-1, and I was just like, this is just going to be a joke. So it was pretty easy to take the points with the underdog in that situation.
Hey, however the angles tie in, as long as they do, and as long as they cash for it, it's all that matters, right? So
yeah.
But anyways, Al, I'll let you go. I know you got a long day ahead of you. You've probably been up a little
Mother's
bit.
Day.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you've probably been up late trying to put everything together. But appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you later this week, or I'll see you on the drive-thru on Wednesday. But see you next weekend as well.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Appreciate it, Al. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Al McMorty, always love talking shop with Al. Like I said, that the database he always talks about and all the trends and the history that he has. It's one of the things that I definitely marvel at when I'm looking at just the history of sports handicap. I think it's one of the things that I really admire. But anyways, we'll move on. We're gonna someone I get to finally work with for the first time, Nick Menken. Nick and I talked before when we were first helping him get set up, and now we got him working together on the weekend show. Nick, how's it going?
It's going good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well. A lot of baseball action. I'll tell you, I was going through the card yesterday, and I was felt a little bit overwhelmed, even if it was only up one day card, 15-game card. But I'll tell you, it's we're getting into the dog days of summer. The NBA's winding down, NHL.
Right.
We got a lot of
MLB, a lot of MLB on the slate. That's my sport, though. That's what I love.
Yeah, exactly.
This Sunday started off I texted Mitch this morning, and that text message is supposed to go to my girlfriend. So I'm sure I'll be hearing that pretty soon from Mitch. That's for sure.
I've learned that if you send 3 or 4 kiss emojis, you're usually fine at that point. If he gets offended if he only gets 1 or 2, but if you send 3 or 4, you're usually fine. And then if you send the flowers after the fact, it's usually okay.
Yeah, no, it was just, hey, baby. He replied back, hey, baby. Oh, no. So did I really just do that?
It's like when you call the teacher mom, and it's like, okay, well, no going back from this one. We might as well just chalk it up as a loss and move forward.
Oh, man, he's going to get on me for that one. I want to hear the end of it.
It's okay. Think of it as your full on initiation into the Pick Dogs family. Said we all gotta suffer through something like that once. But anyways, we're gonna take a look at this MLB matchup with you going prime time in this one.
Yeah, we got the St. Louis Cardinals. They will be in Boston today. The Cardinals actually have taken 2 games out of this 3-game series from the Boston Red Sox, obviously with that comeback win in yesterday's game. The Cardinals are 15-20-25 this season, 5th in the NL Central. You got the Red Sox coming in at 22-18. They are also 5th in the AL East. But I will say Boston, it's a different team when Boston plays on Sundays in Fenway. I think they, their fans, that day game, I think they play really well and they swing it real well, especially on Sunday. Right now for the St. Louis Cardinals, Miles Miklos will be on the bump. He's 1-1 this season with a 4.2 ERA, or I'm sorry, 4.1.2 innings pitched on 41 strikeouts right now. He's having a great season for this St. Louis Cardinals, I should say. And then looking at the Boston Red Sox, Corey Kluber would be on the mound. He's 2-4 with a 3.1 innings pitched this season, only 28 Ks. Obviously, he's still trying to find himself on this new ball club with the Red Sox. But the Cardinals right now, they're 9-12 on the road. They are on that 2-game winning streak, obviously beating Boston twice in this series. Boston is currently 13-9 at home. In their last 10 games, they are 6-4. They're on a 2-game losing streak, obviously losing to the St. Louis Cardinals in this series. I think it's going to be a bounce back game for this Boston Red Sox team. I mean, Devers is going to get the bats going. You already could count on him, but I think Corey Kluber will lock in today, especially being a veteran pitcher. He needs to command the zone early, because when he does command the zone early, he gets people out, especially with that changeup that he has. He hasn't been looking the same that we known him from the Indians/Guardians now. But I think that Corey Kluber is going to come out and he's going to have a game against this St. Louis Cardinals team in tonight's matchup. I like the plus money in Boston, in Fenway. Like I said, they play very good baseball on Sundays to this Boston Red Sox team. I'm going to take a money line at a -155.
Yeah, I can't disagree with the Red Sox from a side here, just because, like you said, Cardinals have been probably the most disappointing team in baseball through 40 games this season. For me, the way I looked at it was I think this game is just all about, from a side perspective, is which offense do you trust more? Because I don't trust Miles Michaelis on the road. Corey Kluber, he's been decent in spots, but for me, he's still part of a Red Sox team that has a starting pitching rotation ERA around, I think it's still around 6, still one of the worst in baseball. But instead, I don't think either starter factors into the equation here. I think, like you said, I think this is a game where the offense comes through, and Boston's offense has been just a much hotter offense, especially coming at home at Fenway. So I think in a prime time spot, I think you got to roll with the Red Sox here. But
Definitely. I think Miklos is going to have his hands full, too, with this Boston Red Sox team on prime time. I think they have something to prove, definitely, on Sunday night. So we'll see what Kluber could do for this Red Sox team today. Hopefully he comes out shoving, but I think he should and get back on track early on in this season.
Now, I'll ask you, I know, still we're only talking about a 40-game sample size, so we're not saying they're done, but do you think it's time that the Cardinals hit the panic button? I know this is normally a team that comes on strong later in the season, but
I wouldn't necessarily say hit the panic right now. Obviously, you got Wainwright coming back in. We'll see what he could do and produce innings for this Cardinals team. But, Goldschmidt and Arenado, if they could really start swinging the bat, especially with 2 outs, runners on, and they start doing their job, I think this Cardinals team will be in contention with the Brewers and the Cubs, and even that Pirates team, who are red hot, but they've been slowing down as of late. I think that it's going to be a very good division in the NL Central for sure. I think the St. Louis Cardinals, though, will get it going, especially after the All-Star break.
Yeah, I think Arenado's. Trust me, I have Nolan Arenado on my fantasy team. I think he's got to start. He's got to start picking up at the dish. Right now, it's been Nolan Gorman that's been picking up the slack for him. But I think my concern for the Cardinals is that you're relying on a rotation that has Steven Matz and Miles Michaelis in it right now, and that's not necessarily a recipe for success, I don't think. But hey, you got Nick here on the Red Sox in prime time on the money line. Nick, what do you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
Pick Dogs, I have my lock of the day going out, and I also have a NBA card going out. I'm currently 68% in my NBA plays, especially in the playoff run that I've been having. Go check that out. I got another 3-pack for you guys today that will also be on Pick Dogs. So go check it out, and let's keep taking down the books together.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, Nick, one of the Handicappers. You can see them littered across the leaderboard as we've it's, fairly new to pick dogs, but I'll tell you, not new to handicapping. He's been absolutely crushing it out of the gates. And like I said, this is the time to hop on a daily pass. Once you profit, go something long term. It's going to be the best value for you going forward. And like I said, you simply can't go wrong the way that Nick's been tearing the cover off the ball right now. But Nick, thanks so much for popping on. Got your Nick's Nerfies video that's starting to become a real hit over at Pick Dogs, where you cover the Nerfies and Nerfies for the day's action.
Yeah, I got the Nerfies going out every day right now. So check that out on our YouTube channel. And I'm not stopping, so I'll be on there all the time.
All right, Nick, thanks for coming on today. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and we'll see you later this week.
All right, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Nick. Take care. Nick Mankin, like I said, love having him on. It was our first time doing any sort of live content together. Hope to do a lot more of it in the future. And as I said, check him out. He's tearing the cover off the ball right now. But as we'll head to Rod, our last guest on the show before I go solo for the last pick of the day. But bring Rod in. Rod, how's it going?
Going good. Nice Sunday. I got some good action here. Who does a little game 7 action? Definitely tune in and watch that Hoops game. That'll be good.
Yeah, 100%. But before we get to the hockey action, we got to get through the afternoon baseball. I know you got to play for us for today. What do you got?
And we're going to go to the Cubs taking on the Twins here, the rubber match in this series. Both teams have got a win. Cubs won the first game. Twins won yesterday. And you look at this one, Louis Varland's going to get the start here for the Twins. And he is yet to record a win in his 3 starts. He's got a 4.32 ERA and a 1.38 WHIP. He's been not a bad pitcher, but definitely hasn't equated to the wins. He definitely hasn't been the worst pitcher the Twins got in their rotation. But the other side of the ball, we got Stroman, who's going to get the start here, and his record's a little bit deceiving. He's 2-3 on the year with a solid 2.28 ERA, and you look, he's pitched great to start the season. His last three starts, he's got no decision, and a loss. He's only given up 2 runs, 1 run, 2 runs in those last 3 starts. But his team behind him has struggled to give him the run support in a bunch of these games here in his last 3. He's been pitching well this season. He's only had 1 blip where he gave up more than 5 runs. Other than that, he's given up no runs, 2 runs, no runs, 2 runs. He's having a great season. Just need a little bit more run support from his team. And in this spot here, I think he gets that run support. You look at the Twins, their offense has not been rolling right along, especially against right-handed pitching. You look at the Twins over their last 10 games, they're only hitting 179 against right-handed pitchers. And on the other side of the ball, you look at the Cubs, they're hitting 253 against right-handed pitchers over their last 10 games. So I like the Cubs here in this one to get the bats going and give Stroman some run support, and he'll finally get a win. You look at the Cubs, 5-1 in their last 6 on the road, 4-1 in their last 5 interleague games. Where you look at the Twins in interleague games, 1-5 in the last 6 interleague games versus a team with a losing record. Yeah, I like the Cubs here in this one. Our buddy Stroman gets the win. They finally get him enough run support where the Cubs can snag the win for him.
Yeah, I got to agree with you on the Cubs. I think this is a bit of an overreaction to Saturday's result where the Twins got the win there. And we said Stroman's just been a lot better on the road going back to last season as well. It's been, like I said, Jekyll and Hyde pitcher. This year is not as extreme. He's got a decent ERA at Wrigley, but yeah, he's been far better on the road over the course of the last year and a half. So definitely got to be with you on the Cubs on that one. But yeah, I was going to ask you. I was going to say, what are you hoping for the Oilers and Golden Knights tonight? I know who you're backing here, but instead of asking that and asking the obvious and we getting a quick answer, what do you think the Oilers got to do tonight to win the game?
Stay out of the penalty box. They gave up 7 penalties last game. They took 7 penalties last game, and Vegas scored 2 goals on those power plays. And Vegas doesn't have the greatest power play, but when you give a team 7 power play opportunities, eventually they're going to get lucky, and that squirrel does find the net, and it does find the back of the net. And they did it twice. And if you take those 2 goals off the board, what do we got? Big difference in the series heading back to Edmonton. So what do I like here? I like Edmonton. They've been solid at home. This series was bound to go 7, just like we see in Dallas and Seattle. So we're going to go with the Oilers to win it here at home, and Game 7 will be on Tuesday night. That'll be a wild one.
And do you think
that's what I think? I'm you know me, I'm cheering.
Yeah, I know. Okay, but I'll ask. Fandom aside, do you think that the Oilers are going to have enough discipline to not go after Pietrangelo, or do you think that there's going to be some? Okay, I'm not saying they're going to be undisciplined and go hacking at it every time. There's bound to be something to happen when they first see him on the ice. That's a given. But I'm talking about just like over the course of the game, because Game 6, like you said,
too. He's mad at the non-call that happened that we didn't see a little bit before that, where he got cross-checked, and that's why he was angry. So
yeah,
this is going to be one heck of a hockey game. If you like fighting and you want to see some hits and some good old-fashioned gritty hockey, tune in tonight, because it's going to be one of those barn burner, lots of hard hitting. You want to see some fights? I'm going to bet that we're going to see a fight in tonight's game for sure. Someone's going to drop the gloves and they're going to go at it, because this is going to be a war.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was banking on, but I don't want to get your thoughts on it. But
yeah, war, all out war. You put Pietrangelo back in, you put Nurse back in. when they see the start, it's like 3, 2, 1, fight. That's what it's gonna be. And I wouldn't be surprised if the ref puts his whistle in his pocket and we see some crazy hockey.
If you're watching the game tonight, keep your audio on. You may hear Rod screaming at this game, like
you might, yeah, anywhere, yeah. It's an old fact. I love when it's nice and quiet, and then you yell. So keep it in there. I've also been known to start the chant or two over the games too. So
I'm not even going to try to start that too. We're gonna just nip that one in the butt. But we got you on the Cubs here. What do you got going on over at Pick Dogs Premium today?
And over Pick Dogs Premium today, I've got my $20 MLB Diamond Crusher. You can scoop it up singly. That's backed by nice 7-0 stats there in that one. Or I've got my Sunday Safe Crackers, or I've got 3 plays, 2 on the ice, and my 10-star NBA Slam and Dunk. Scoop that triple up there. I'm gonna have a big day. I'm feeling it. Got to get out of this rut. I've definitely been ice cold. So only one way to go, and that's up from the bottom. So what I normally do, touch the bottom of the board, and then I spring back up. So jump aboard. Time to start a winning streak.
Yeah, it's like any of us here. We all go through hot and cold runs, and we all eventually sort of play to the back of our baseball cards, sort of find our way back to the middle, and then we'll definitely get back on the hot run. This is when you want to hop on with Roddy, like you said. Jump on the single day pass, take advantage of the daily profit, and then once you do, go on long term. You always want to be the person that caught it right from the beginning. That's where you make your most money, right? So, got to check that out. Whether it's just with Rod or you pair someone else, any of us up that you see on the show today, or anyone on the website with Rod as part of the 2-for-1 capper deal, definitely a great value over at Pick Dogs. But Rod, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. We'll I'll see you tomorrow morning. But everyone else will see you on the drive-through throughout the week.
Definitely. Thanks, Chris. Have yourself a wonderful day, and good luck, everybody, with all your bets. Smash that thumbs up. Costs you nothing, helps us a ton. Have a big day, everybody. Let's go.
See you later, Rod. Take it easy. You got Rod Zawacki. Definitely, Rod and I do the morning show together every day. We haven't gotten sick of each other yet, but still time for it. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. But like Rod said, smash that like button. It really helps us out a bunch. We do all this for you guys. Couldn't get to where we are today, what your guys' love and support. So hit that thumbs up. I'm going to drop in my play for you guys before we get off the air here. We managed to take a 5-guest card, about 35 minutes, probably 40 by the time that all is said and done here. But for me personally, I'm going to roll with the over between the Royals and the Brewers. This is just a bit of a disaster of a pitching matchup here. You start things off with the Royals sending Jordan Lyles to the mound in this one. And Jordan Lyles has been an absolute wreck this season. Leads the league in home runs allowed, and that's not something that you want to be leading the league. He's given up at least 2 home runs in each of his last 5 starts. Spoiler alert, if you tune into the home run prop video that I've uploaded here at Pick Dogs, you're going to find quite a few Milwaukee Brewers on that list. I think this is another game where Lyles can get absolutely torched. 0-6 with a 6.20 ERA this season. I do lean towards the Brewers for the side here, mainly because the Royals just have not been able to win with Lyles on the mound this season. Literally, they are 0-8 as a team in his 8 starts this season. And like I said, you just look at some of the totals they've given up: 13 runs, 8 runs, 8 runs, 6 runs. So I think you're going to see a big day off of Jordan Lyles here. But on the other side, the reason why I didn't back the Brewers here is because Colin Rea has not been, all that anything special. 0-3, a 4.94 ERA through 5 starts this season. He's given up at least 3 runs in 3 of his 4 starts. He's given up a few home runs himself. I just look for this to be a high-scoring game. If the starters don't get us there, which I think they probably will, but if they don't, I think the bullpens definitely will. Like I said, I was surprised to see when that this total opened up at 9.5. I thought this was going to easily be a game that started at 10 runs, and I like the over in this one between the Brewers and the Royals. Like I said, bring your glove to the ballpark if you're going to this one today. So definitely make sure that you check that out. But anyways, for me today, got my $19 MLB pickoff play. I've been crushing with that. We got one yesterday with the Diamondbacks and a no doubter. Now we're going to try to run it back, finish the weekend strong. Also got my MLB triple play, that $19 play included in the 3-pack as well for MLB. No NHL or NBA for me today. Like I said, I kind of wanted to let that Oilers Golden Knights matchup settle. And Game 7 is just a very volatile game for me today. I still stick with my pick I gave out in the video. I lean towards the over in that game. I also lean towards the Sixers, but again, not strong enough for me to give it out as a premium selection. So, but definitely hop on something long-term, whether it's just with me or someone else, part of the 2-for-1 capper deal. Best way to get long-term value at Pick Dogs, take the profit that we're going to make today, roll it into a long-term pass, and you can make the picks, a lot cheaper. You can make them even pennies per day if you hop on something for a year. Also, 2-for-1 capper promotion. Pair me up with any of the fantastic cappers on Pick Dogs, any of the cappers you see today, and we're gonna make you guys some money. But anyways, appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in. Thank you for making my life so much easier when I have to run these shows on the weekend when Mitch is away from mission control. But I'll field a couple of questions just from the comment section here. Watcher asking if we like any NBA props for today. You know what? I got a couple minutes. Let's see if we can dig something up. Give me 2 seconds here. I'll put something together for you guys. Can't necessarily say that I'll find anything fantastic, but I probably like the under in James Harden's point total. Like I said, I didn't love what I saw from him in Game 6. I know this is kind of where you need your best players to shine the brightest, but I just have this weird feeling that it's going to be a very Joel Embiid heavy game. If you don't want to take the under on the points, I would maybe take the under on the points, rebounds, and assists or something like that. I'm not having a great feeling for James Harden in this game. I'd also go with the over on the threes on both sides. I know Game 7s tend to be a little bit more of like a rock fight, a little bit lower scoring, but these two teams have just absolutely lighting it up from 3 over the course of this series. I think this is a great spot to take some threes here. Do 2 more. There's 2 more here that I see. Lingwick saying Nationals money line are -1.5 today. Well, the Nationals are playing the Mets with Max Scherzer on the mound, so I think you're either looking at the +1.5 or the money line. The problem for me, and this is why this is a no play for me, is because if the game didn't get suspended yesterday, I think we would have been able to take the Nationals +1.5. But with a depleted bullpen here, I don't know if I want to have to rely on Jake Irvin as much as I don't like the Mets and how much they've been struggling. I don't know if I want to have to rely on the Nationals with a depleted bullpen to be able to hang zeros with Max Scherzer. Jake Irvin's pitched well out of the gate, but again, you're basically almost rolling with a doubleheader here. And it makes it extremely tough for me to for me to feel comfortable backing the Nationals in that respect. And the last question I'll field here: what about Brogdon? Where'd it go here? Brogdon points, rebounds, and assists. I could see it. The problem with Brogdon is that he's very hit and miss. Some days they rely on him heavily off of the bench. There are other days where he's pretty much non-existent. So I think for me, the way I'm looking at it is I'm just looking at big guns tonight. I'm looking at guys like Tatum, Brown, maybe Marcus Smart for the Celtics. Embiid, maybe Maxey and Harden for the Sixers. But yeah, I'm probably staying away from bench players in that respect. Just my opinion on it, but again, do with the information what you will. And if you're going to look for angles with any players for today's games, check out those betting tools at Sports Chat Place and Pick Dogs. And like I said, they're for you to use. They're 100% free, so make sure you take advantage of them. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure you smash that like button, have notifications turned on. Be the first to be in the know when we go live, when our new content drops here at Pick Dogs. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.